All right, inflation in the U.S. remains the highest it's been in 40 years. The spike in prices for gas, groceries, housing, and other necessities is pushing people to run their credit card balances up.
Yet not paying credit cards and other bills can destroy your credit. And our next guest was able to help her family pay off $100,000 of debt in less than 3 years. She's joining us with some advice for getting out of debt and improving your credit. You better listen up. Please welcome Dr. Melanie Wright, author, coach, and director of financial education at Kinley.
Good morning, Dr. Melody.
Good morning. How are you?
We're great. Thank you so much for being with us. You know, obviously having good credit is important, right? I mean, for many reasons. If you want to buy a house, you want to buy a car. But the question is, if you have a great deal of debt, is it better to pay that off with help from somebody else, or should you repair your credit all by yourself?
Yeah, so that's a really great question. And it's going to really depend on how much debt you have and then also how comfortable you feel in tackling that yourself. So when it comes to repairing your credit, that is something that you can do on your own, or you can seek out the use of somebody who will be able to assist you in that. But when you're doing it on your own, when you're repairing your credit, what you're doing is you're working to remove anything that is inaccurate or negative from your credit report. And you can do this on your own by simply sending a letter to one of the 3 credit bureaus to explain what is inaccurate on your credit report. And once you send that dispute to them, they are actually supposed to investigate it further.
So let's talk about what constitutes a good credit score. And does constantly checking your credit report hurt your credit score?
So a credit score is going to range from 300 to 850, with 300 being considered bad and then 850 being considered excellent. And so a good credit score is going to fall between 670 to 739. And again, it is a range. So if you have a credit score of 675 or 725, it's still going to fall in that good range. And constantly checking your credit report, it's not going to hurt your credit score, because your credit score is actually affected by 5 other factors, like your payment history and the amount you owe. Your credit report is your credit history. Think of it like a report card for your credit. And so if you are checking your credit constantly, it doesn't affect your credit score. And actually, I recommend checking your credit report at least once a quarter to make sure there aren't any inaccuracies on there. And due to the pandemic, you can access your credit report weekly from each one of the credit bureaus through the rest of 2022.
Okay, so let's say someone decides, okay, I'm going to tackle this on my own. What are some of the do's and don'ts of that?
So if you are tackling credit repair on your own, one thing that you definitely want to do is pull your report from each one of the bureaus. Since the information that they collect on you might differ between the 3 of them, you want to make sure that one doesn't contain something that the other doesn't have. You don't want to hesitate to report an inaccuracy that you see on your credit report. Once again, once you report it, the credit bureaus must investigate that dispute. You do want to keep all paperwork. So if you're sending a dispute via certified mail, you do want to keep the paperwork regarding that. And you don't want to dispute anything that you know is accurate in hopes of getting that removed. And also don't submit any don't falsify or submit anything that is misleading to them, because that could possibly lead to legal action being taken against you.
Wow, don't lie.
Yep, don't lie. All right, what's
Yeah,
what's a general rule of thumb that most people should know when it comes to building their credit?
So when you're just starting out, let's say that you don't have any credit, I think a lot of people think they have to rush out there and collect every form of credit. This isn't Pokemon. You don't have to collect them all. If you are just starting out with building your credit, you could start out with using a low limit credit card, or even getting a secured credit card. Now, this is going to help you to develop those positive credit habits while also building up your credit history. And remember, when you're building your credit, let's say you're somebody who has a history of credit, building credit doesn't happen overnight. The information on your credit report, like I just mentioned, is like a report card. So we know that when we get report cards in school, they don't happen as soon as we start the class. They happen over time. So you want to just go ahead and continue to have those positive credit habits, and that will in turn boost your credit score and also build your credit history.
Yeah, but some people, they tack on so much credit, they grab every credit card they can, and then things get out of control. You have an amazing story, right? You saw your family sinking into debt. Was it $100,000 in debt? Can you tell us exactly how you were able to get out of that? And what you said, 3 years you were able to pay that all off?
Yeah, so we started out with over $212,000 of debt, and that did not include the mortgage. So after I
Wow.
got over that initial shock of having that much debt and I stopped having that out of body experience, I immediately began to change my behaviors with how we were using money and change like how I was viewing money. And so that just meant I was more focused and we were being really intentional about where the money was going. And then from that, just seeing how we were doing well with that, I created my family's money management system that made sure that every dollar that flowed into our life had a specific purpose and intent. So it will help us build wealth, pay down debt, and be able to live a life with options.
Wow. Okay, well, you're working with the Kinley app. Tell us about Kinley.
Yeah, so I'm really excited about what we're doing here at Kinley. Kinley is a financial services company that's geared towards Black America, but we do offer inclusive financial services to anybody. So to get access to our app, you can download it from the Google Play or the App Store. And once you open an account, you have access to all our financial service features, including financial education, which covers a range of topics, just like what I was just talking about. Like mastering your credit score, the risky side of credit, using credit wisely. So all that is available to our users inside of the Kinley app. And we're really excited about what we're building and the wealth of information that we're sharing with our customers.
Really
Wow.
great information you shared with us today. You're an inspiration to a lot of folks out there that are
Yes.
really drowning in debt, especially with all the inflation going on right now.
Thank you.
All
Thank
right,
you so
Melody,
much.
thank you so much for talking with us. We appreciate your time.
Have a good day, Doctor.
Thank you.
Bye.